Welcome back to another episode of Enter the Nerdom. I'm here with co-hosts
Sam Morantini
and Watson Bradshaw.
And I'm obviously Chad.
Obviously.
OBVIOUSLY.
Is that spelling right?
He got it.
JELLO.
Zip zoop.
Zip zoop.
That's an inside
joke.
Yeah. So welcome back, everybody. We got some good things that we need to get through here. We watched some good movies. I was gonna say some good TV shows, but the one that we're gonna talk about, we'll get to it. The first thing I guess we should just jump right into is I watched Good Boy, since we got the Halloween season come up here soon. It is an interesting film. It is a film seen from the perspective of the horror film seen from the perspective of the dog, which is something that is unusual.
Yeah.
I know that we've had some other films that are the POV from the killer. Last year we had we had
a Violent Nature.
Violent Nature, which was the horror film from the perspective of the slasher. So like Jason type.
It's up on Hulu right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which I would say that was done before, but with Maniac, I think it was called.
There was a Christmas one too, like Black Christmas, I think. Back in the 70s.
Oh, right. Yeah,
it was all from the slasher's perspective.
I think that Black Christmas went back and forth between the POV of the killer and the character. This was strictly from the dog's perspective.
Yeah.
And then Violent Nature is also strictly from the killer's perspective. So whenever the killer gets close to somebody, you can hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
But if he's far away, you just see people in the distance.
So this would be us following the golden retriever from Poltergeist, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly. So it's a small film. I was done with, I think, a budget of like maybe a couple $1,000s.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, this is directed by Ben Lindbergh. He is a small-time film director. He pretty much did it with his wife at their home. And the dog, I thought when I first saw this film, I thought the dog was, a professional dog animal actor or whatever, but it's not. It's their dog.
Wow.
It's their his.
So you're not seeing through the dog's eyes?
We're not seeing through the dog's eyes. We're just the camera follows the dog. Yeah.
I gotcha.
But you don't really see. It's like kind of reminded me of the Muppet Babies, where you kind of just see the legs of the humans.
Yeah.
You don't see too many human faces.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is cool. Yeah, and there's a reason for that. Well, I'll get into it. The film is really well done. The cool thing is that after the film was over, Ben Lindbergh came on and was like, "Hey, everybody!" He's talking to the audience with his dog Indy. He's like, "Let me show you how we did this." And so, like on the film, because the film looks, it takes place. It's a haunted house film, basically. It takes place in this dark home, but actually, when they're shooting, it's all brightly lit, and it's very tense.
This was like after the credits.
This is after the credits. It's very tense, and how the scene is going on because there's something scaring the dog. But in the actual scene, they're like, "Hey," and they got like a toy, and they're like squeezing it, and the dog just kind of happens to look over. And so he says it's all perspective. It's how. The atmosphere you line up with the shot, so it could be just dog looking over, and then of course you set up like he's looking at a dark hallway and there's something going on, but it's all perspective. Anyway, so the film starts off with the guy named Todd, played by this guy. I'm looking at the Wikipedia here because there's nobody really. There's no names as far as like actors go and big names, I should say. Yeah. Shane Jensen plays Todd, but again, we don't really see his face that much. Indy, the dog, is played as himself. This is, again, the director and the writer's actual dog. He's suffering. Todd is going through some kind of issue. And what we see is that at first it looks like they're in New York. He obviously, the Todd owns Indy. And the beginning of the film, we're in this darkened apartment. And you keep hearing like these creaking sounds like somebody's walking. And Indy just kind of looks over at a corner. It's just like this kind of dark corner. And we see Todd starts to bleed from his nose. His sister shows up, has been trying to contact him on the phone. Her name is Vera. And she shows up at the apartment. And he's kind of passed out on the couch. She takes him to the hospital. And then we see kind of quick cuts of Indy as a puppy with Todd, which was actually Ben Lindbergh He used this actual family,
it's like home
footage.
That's great.
Because again, we don't see Todd's face.
Yeah.
So it very easily passes for him. We see him as a puppy. They're having a good time, and slowly, little by little, you see there's something wrong with Todd. He's getting sick. He's going to the hospital. This and that. Todd eventually says, "I'm leaving the city." He moves up to a rural farmhouse, which is actually Ben Lindbergh's actual house where he lives with his wife. He moves up there. In the story, it's his uncle's cabin. And we get a lot of backstory from Todd being on the phone with his sister, Vera. Vera's like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on up there? What are you doing? Why are you there? He's like, oh, I got to come out here. They don't imply what's wrong with him. It's implied it's cancer, some kind of lung disease. Something's going on with him. As he's trying to get up to the property, Indy's in the car. Todd is outside trying to open the gate to the main property, and Indy's the camera just follows Indy. It's a lot of it just what Indy is looking at. So he just like where his head is turned, where his vision is, and then behind the car we see like this kind of shadow figure. It's just like always just head and shoulders, and it's just dark figure disappears. When they get into the house doesn't have much power. Their grandfather lived there. We find out through phone calls with his sister that there was a lot of dogs. But they mentioned they all ran away, except for Bandit, who's this golden retriever. Todd starts seeing these old home videos that he finds at the house with his uncle, with various dogs. We see that his uncle's also kind of got some kind of disease. He's coughing a lot like Todd is. For time, things are going okay. A lot of the camera is just following Indy around through the house. And again, every time that there's something going on with Todd, he feels kind of sick. We hear like the creaking on wooden floorboards, and Indy kind of looking off into a dark corner because again, the house doesn't have much power. He's running everything off of a generator. Todd is, and we see that there's something going on in this house. There's a dark figure that's kind of lurking in the shadows. Todd is getting sick. We see another neighbor, Richard, but we don't see his face. He's just, because he's a hunter, he's covered kind of like a ghillie suit looking thing.
Okay.
So he knows Todd from, because Todd spent a lot of time there as a kid. And he warns him, there's fox traps up here. I'm hunting fox, so be careful with your dog because there's fox traps all through here. So be careful where you step, careful with Indy where he's at. Indy starts to see and hear a dog in the basement, which again, there's nobody in this house. There's no living things in this house. He starts to hear like whining coming from the cellar. He starts to see visions of Bandit, which is a golden retriever, kind of walking around the house. So like now something is kind of haunting the dog. Usually like in these horror films, we see like a person, like ghost or something walking around. Yeah. But now it's kind of appearing to the dog. He finds Bandit's collar, which is or bandana, which is like this red bandana. And he touches it, and then he sees like this horrendous like figure of something coming after Bandit in the cellar. A dark figure that's jumping him. Todd continues to get worse. He's coughing up blood a lot. Indy disappears for a while, and he comes back covered in mud. And as like Todd is trying to like clean him off, he's like starts coughing up blood, which means something's getting worse. Eventually we hear like this kind of like slamming in the middle of the night. Indy goes to investigate and finds Todd's like banging his head on the cellar door. Again, Indy begins to see like this like dark figure kind of in the shadows, kind of every time that Todd has some type of like coughing fit episode, and now he's kind of incoherent, banging his head. We see the dark figure kind of in the shadow, and we hear like creaking, and only Indy can hear and see it.
Yeah.
Eventually, Todd collapses, and he's a kind of an incoherent state, and then he kind of hears something, and he starts calling out, saying, "Hello, somebody there?" Because he again, as his condition worsens, he begins to hear and see things a little more. That Indy can see him much clearer, but Todd kind of can. And eventually, Todd collapses, and Indy escapes the house, trying to go find help. He runs out. He gets caught in one of these fox traps. Oh, no. And then we see Richard, his neighbor, what we think is Richard, approaching him. It's like this dark figure approaching him.
Yeah.
And then the camera cuts, and we're not. It's not showing what happens to Indy. If it was Richard that let him go, or it's implied it was, because now he's back at the house and Todd is again in kind of incoherent state, and he locks him outside the house, chains him to a doghouse, as Todd is kind of like saying he's a bad dog and why'd you escape, and just acting very weird, because the whole time Todd and Indy are boys, they've been acting, he loves him, they love each other, but now Todd is kind of like chaining him up outside and is mad at him that he ran off, and he's just acting weird. And he can see, Indy can see from outside the yard, he can see Todd in kind of like the bathroom window in the second floor of the house. And then he sees the dark figure staring at him, and it kind of slowly backs away from the window. So Indy knows that something's going on. The night progresses, rain starts heavily falling, and something starts pulling. You see these kind of muddy hands that have kind of like gripped Indy before and kind of covered in mud, starts pulling on the chain towards him. Indy is scared, he's terrified because now he's being pulled into the doghouse by these muddy hands. So he runs at the doghouse, breaks off the chain. And it's a really cool shot because we see Indy like run off, and then you're reminded that every single dog that lived in this house ran off because it's implied they were afraid of what's inside the house.
Yeah.
So you see Indy run off in the bush, and the camera just holds on that. He's gone for like 5-6 seconds, and then he comes back and looks up at the house. So it's like, oh shit, I can't leave Todd behind. Like I can't. So he goes inside. He manages to get back inside the house, or the basement. The cellar doors are open. He runs down there. Excuse me. He goes back into the house, and he goes into the cellar. Goes up in the house. Finds Todd is doing okay, and he's like coughing anymore. Because for a while he's laying on his bed, kind of like struggling for breath. It looked like he was about to die, but then all of a sudden Todd looks fine. And he's like, "Hey, Indy, how's it going, man?" And he seems like he's fine. He's out of that kind of fugue state he was in. He's breathing normally, and then he says, "What's going? Like, Indy, how did you get back outside? Like, what's going on here?" And he turns around, and his body's laying on the bed. He's dead. Todd is dead. So now he's like, "Oh shit!" So then he hears the dark entity drags him from the chain that Indy was tied up is now on Todd, and he drags him down into the cellar. Indy goes down there, and he finds this kind of like opening that we've seen earlier in the film. This it's in the cellar, and it's like this kind of mud kind of hut opening thing into this kind of old portal. And Indy runs down there, and we see the skeleton of Bandit from the dog he's been seeing is still down in the basement. And then we begin to see snapshots of the videos that Todd has been watching of his uncle, who was kind of afflicted with the same thing, coughing up blood. Bandit's trying to stay by him. Again, Bandit's the only dog that seemed to like stick by him. And Todd turns to Indy and says, "You're a good dog, but you can't save me." And he's covered by mud and disappears. And later on, we see his sister shows up to the house, and she's crying. She says, "Come on, Indy. Come." He's still stuck in the cellar, Indy. And we hear whistling coming from the cellar, and Indy kind of turns back to look at it, and then runs up the stairs, and we see him drive off with his sister. So the film is it's a little disjointed. I think they did a very good job with the atmosphere of the house, the creepiness of the house, and it seems that the entity isn't necessarily like a ghost. It's like it's implied that it's like the disease that Todd has that is stalking him.
Yeah, it's like death,
or like whatever cancer, whatever lung disease he has, and it's implied that it's run through because his grandfather had it as well. So he's coughing up blood like his grandson is now, and he died in that same house. And it seems that Bandit got stuck in the basement because he was taken by this thing through this kind of portal-looking thing in the basement.
Right, and he wouldn't leave them.
And he wouldn't leave him. So he starved to death down there. Yeah. So so every time that there's some type of, I don't want to say attack on this disease is attacking him, like his lung, he's coughing up blood, he's in a fugue state, he collapses. There's always that dark shadow, that dark figure in the corner,
right,
who's kind of like attacking him, not directly until the end, but that only Indy can see, and only Indy can respond to. And it's sad because Indy is trying to do the best he can. At one point, when he runs down to his neighbor, he jumps through a plate glass window to try to get to the neighbor's house, and that's where he gets caught up in the fox snare.
Sorry, I'm blanking on the question. For when he locks him out of the house, is it like he's just so sick he's pushing his dog away?
It seems like it, because at one point he gets home, and again, it's implied that he's taking chemotherapy, or not chemotherapy. What's the drug that they put in your arm?
An IV of something.
IV,
isotope thing.
It's because he has, at one point he comes home after a long day and he's got a Band-Aid on his arm.
Yeah,
it's she's not chemotherapy. Chemo's radiation.
I know.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm forgetting what
the
it
liquid.
is. Yeah, it's to keep you energized.
Yeah, he comes back and he collapses on his bed, and Indy tries to get him in the bedroom. He's like, not now, and he keeps pushing him away. So it's implied that the whatever disease he has is also messing with his mind mentally. Right. It's probably like spread, unfortunately, and so that's, again, it's not pointed out exactly what it is that he has, but he's got some kind of affliction that's messing with him and affecting his emotional and mental state to the point where he's kind of turning on his dog.
Yeah.
But his dog refuses to turn on him.
Yeah.
Again, there's a point where Indy knows there's something up. There's something not right here. There's something that's not necessarily after me, but is after Todd, my owner, my human.
I want to protect him.
I want to protect. Yeah. And again, it's a great shot. He breaks free from the doghouse, runs into the woods, and it looks like he's gone. And all of a sudden he reemerges out of the woods and looks up at the house and goes in the house to try to save Todd. And that's when Todd says, "You can't save me," at the end.
Yeah.
So it looks like his spirit has kind of moved on. So it's a really sad movie. I mean, Indy at least, survives in the end, because that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, there's not much that Indy does throughout the film to be able to, keep this thing at bay or protect him. He tries to do what he can physically, but it's implied that it's Todd's disease that is slowly stalking him.
I wonder if it's like a play on how people say a dog could sense when someone's sick. Yeah. Like, this is what they see when you're sick. So they see a dark or entity around you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's interesting.
It definitely, I didn't expect, because, I mean, like, from the posters and stuff, you see the dog and you see, like, some, like, grasping hands.
Right.
So I thought more it would be a zombie thing.
Well, no, I thought it was going to be, like, maybe his previous, or his father, or was it his
grandfather?
Grandfather.
Yeah.
His grandfather, like, pulling down his family or something related.
Me too. And
dark.
And one of the conversations he has with his sister on the phone, she says, "Why are you at that house? Like, it's haunted." He's like, "It's not haunted." He's like, "Well, nobody can stay in there for more than a couple weeks." And he's like, "Well, Grandpa did." She's like, "Well, Grandpa was weird." So there's, it's implied that they already thought there's something up with the house. But whatever this thing was also in his apartment in Brooklyn. So it seems like it's more attached to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's implied this is disease.
Family disease.
Right. It's a family disease. Something's happening. Yeah.
Right.
But that's an interesting idea with the mud. Part of it, like pulling him into the ground.
Yeah.
Type of thing, or a portal.
Right. Well, at one point he's Indy lays down by his bed and something grabs him, pulls him under the bed, but you see it's Todd, who's like fallen off the side of the bed somehow because he's sick from his treatment. And so he's like petting Indy, and all of a sudden his hands turn muddy, and it's just like spreads mud through Indy's face, and Indy flips out because he thinks it's the thing that's following him, and he starts biting it, but it's just Todd's hand.
Well, then my only question is the part you reference where Indy's being pulled into the doghouse.
Yeah.
Why is that happening if the entity is attached
exactly. That's what I mean. The storytelling is a little disjointed. It seemed like, I guess what they were trying to say is that, whatever darkness there is, either through the house or what's going on with Todd, or the family history, who knows, that it's kind of like it doesn't want Indy around. Yeah. Like it wanted him to run off. And again, they said a lot of no dogs stayed aside from Bandit, who was the most loyal.
Yeah.
So it's like it just wanted that person for itself, or just wanted to, or because of, whatever the darkness that follows it, whatever, it just didn't want anything else around. Yeah. But it didn't ever actually physically attack, like never like hit him or pushed him.
It was just interesting, like he had an interaction with this thing without his master around. So I was just like, maybe it is something more than the disease, but it's attached to the disease,
something like that. Yeah. So it was good. It just seems like it was testing. It was a way to test the dog's loyalty, and in the end, it refused to leave.
Yeah.
So, and that scene. I got really emotional when he like jumped back out of the woods and looked up at the house and ran into the house to try to save his owner. I was like, oh shit, dude.
Nah,
and at the end, Todd was like, "You're a good dog, but you can't save me."
Yeah,
and he just turns into this mud just consumes him. He just disappears.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the whole mud thing was about. It just seemed like it was maybe just like it reminded me. It in a way it was kind of. Do you remember the first Constantine movie?
Yeah.
Where the devil like sticks his hands in Constantine's lungs and pulls out the disease in his lungs, and it's just like this black tar.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Like
I was like, oh, maybe that's what they were trying to imply. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the disease itself is covered by this blackness, this tar like thing.
Yeah.
So, because again, it's
corruption.
Corruption, exactly. Yeah, like and it's supposed to be some kind of lung disease.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it's a pretty sad film at the end, and especially so. The last shot again is of Indy sitting at the bottom of the stairwell with Bandit's bones right there, like in front of him, and it's his sister, and she's crying. She's like, "Come on, Indy," and you hear her whistling from the basement. He kind of looks over his shoulder and then runs up the stairs, and
I could see that being like a finale to Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. That sucks, dude.
Just feel like
I didn't even think about Courage with this.
Yeah, no. As you were describing, I was like, oh, he's in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, and he's the dog that's protecting his master. I was like, oh, that's exactly like Courage.
Yeah. Good old Courage. But yeah, and then the last scene is just them driving through the woods with Indy sticking his head out the window and looking at it. And then right after that, luckily the director came on and was like, "Hey, this is how we did it. This is my dog Indy, and we shot it on my house."
At least, he ended it with a
exactly. And it's really cool too.
You
it's
gotta
like
read the room and
exactly.
And it's pretty interesting how they did it because like one of the scenes is Indy's in a darkened room and he sees over shoulder into a darkened corner. And then they showed like, oh, this is how it was actually done. It's a bright room, and they're showing it. It's like, and they got his toy, and he's like squeaking it, so you can look over. And he's like, he's like, Indy's not a professionally trained dog. He's my dog. He looks very serious. So whenever he looks at something, it looks like he's thinking about something. So that's why it worked out, which it did. So I thought the dog was professionally trained, and no, it's his dog, and really well done, man. They must have done this for a couple. He was him. I don't think it's his wife. Might be his girlfriend or something. But him, his partner, I guess, and like 2 or 3 other sound people, and that was it. Yeah, shot in his home over the span of like 2 years, and he said like there's one shot where Indy kind of looks over it. He's like, for that 8-second shot, it took a day and a half of shooting. It was like, holy shit.
Is the dog's actual name Indy?
Indy, yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's its own dog, yeah.
So we got the best actor dogs is dog from The Thing. And then we have Indy here.
Mm-hmm. Indy, that's a great dog. Beautiful dog, too. He's like some type of like border collie. He did say he's a retriever. Wow. But it looks like he's mixed with like border collie or something like that.
It's like 2 years to film?
Something like that, yeah. Wow. 2 years, yeah.
Sounds like that's a little rough.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Boom, boom. Yeah, no, I thought...
I hope they took a bow wow.
They did.
Right.
I hope they retrieve an award.
And that's the 3, right?
We ended there.
No, but I thought it was also going to be like a haunted house that just a dog happens to live in.
No, that's
and then the we've seen the posters like a bunch of like hands like stretching out.
Yeah, that's why.
And the poster I'm looking at now is Indy, and there's like a dark hand over his head. Like reaching out for him. And that's what I thought it was going to be. So, but it actually was a much more.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like The Others, but with
dogs. Exactly. Yeah. But it actually was like a much more grounded, much more sad personal story. Yeah.
Damn.
So, but yeah, check it out. Again, this is amazing filming. It just took, it's like a small crew with 3 or 4 people, 5 people. Yeah. Really, really well done. So
nice.
Yeah, good boy.
Was there like, would you say there's one shot in the movie that was like looks like amazing or that stands out maybe? Like
yeah, man. There's a part they did this really awesome thing. Again, man, I don't know who this guy is. Ben Lindbergh. I've never heard of him. It's his first film apparently. Where we see Bandit in the basement. This is a vision that Indy's having because now the dog is kind of appearing to him, like kind of trying to warn him.
Yeah,
and that's what I thought. Like it was kind of like I thought it was like trying to say he's like stay out of the basement or something like that. Bandit, who's a full golden retriever, is in the basement and he's staring at this kind of like muddy kind of entrance that's in the base. And I don't know if it was like an actual thing down there or it was like a supernatural like thing that only dogs can see, like an opening or a portal to the afterlife. Okay. They never implied it because no humans could see it and no human reacted to it. I should say. So Bandit is sitting there and the camera is on Bandit's left eye, so you see what he's seeing in the glare of his eye, which is the opening. And all of a sudden, you see the dark thing, the figure come out at him and like lunge at him, and then it cuts. And that was the only jump scare in the film. And you're like, oh shit! Everybody jumped. I was like, oh shit! Really well done, dude.
Wow. It sounds like there's not a lot of dialogue in this, so it's like
the only dialogue is Todd talking to Indy. Hey, boy, come on over here. Come on over here. Watch. You know that
kind of soundtrack really good?
Yeah, is there music?
Very little music. Very little music. Yeah, very little. And then and then him talking to his sister over the phone. That's about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, we see her twice in the film, but mostly it's Todd and Indy. That's it. And we don't see his face until the very end, where he holds up a lantern and sees his body that's laying on the bed, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, and then that's when he gets pulled by the dark thing, with a chain the same chain he tied Indy to, but gets pulled into the basement.
Oh wow!
So Indy runs after him.
We named the dog Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, it would be interesting to take the soundtrack of The Thing, John Carpenter's like synth soundtrack, and relay it on top of this movie.
Yeah.
Make it it'd probably give it a more eerie feel than what you got. Like, even though it's a sad story, but it's like, it would just turn the aesthetic of it maybe a little bit differently. It'd be interesting just to see. But
what these people did with, I mean, very minimal equipment, hardly any crew, and a dog that's not trained to act. And he even says it in that after credits thing. He's like, again, I can't stress this enough. Indy does not know he's in a movie. He kept saying that. He's like, Indy doesn't know he's in a movie. So, I mean, amazing film. One of the best films I've seen in 2025, honestly. And Indy's a beautiful dog, so, you know, and he's a good boy. So
there you go. We'll give that dog a bone.
Definitely. Watson, you've got on all your Tron merch right now.
That's right.
Because you went to go see Tron. Because you were a Tron head.
You want me to pull out right after that? Come on.
No, this is,
You made me cry with a dog story. Now it's like, now let's talk about Computer Warriors.
Tell us, Tron.
Tron. So I was able to go to, the El Capitan was doing a Tron triple feature. So they showed...
Triple T,
baby. Yeah, so we got to watch Tron Legacy, and the new Tron Ares.
You sat through all of it?
Sat through all of it.
Whew.
Yeah, baby. And it was fun. It was a really good day. I got there around noon. They weren't letting anyone in till around 2, but there was already a line forming. Yeah. So I was like, I'm jumping that line. We were out there just hanging out. I was chatting with people.
Throwing Tron frisbees around.
There was some people in full Tron outfits.
Really?
Light up gear. There was people with their own someone brought like a leather jacket that they wired in LED lights into himself. Yeah, it was really cool. And then, I go in. I got my tickets through D23, and what was interesting about that, so they were selling it through the El Capitan, and they were selling it through D23. And I thought with D23 probably be some extra something, but apparently not. Like D23, we got the same gear. Like, so when we got in, they gave us a baseball hat, a set of pins, a collectible popcorn tin. It was unlimited popcorn, unlimited drinks for the entire day. And they had a section of the seats basically just under the mezzanine, reserved for D23, but it was like first come, first served. So we couldn't pick our seats.
Wow.
But if you went through the El Capitan site, you could have picked any seat you wanted.
That's weird.
So I was like, well, what was the point of... And I thought, maybe like our tickets were less than the standard tickets, but apparently it was the same price.
Jeez.
So I don't understand the reason for why D23... Okay. I don't understand, what was the point? But anyway, but that's my only complaint. The night was great. The day was great. There was a lot of people there who had not seen the original Tron.
Really?
I was sitting in a row. It was so funny because there was a guy next to me, maybe in his mid-20s. He was a audio software engineer. And there was a guy and his wife next to me on the other side, maybe in their mid-50s. He worked for Apple Computers working on AI algorithms.
Jeez.
So it was a super nerdy crowd. And we were chit-chatting about stuff. And so the guy in his 20s saw Tron Legacy when he was like 13, when it came out 10 years ago. and just was like, that's the one he'd seen and loved that movie. So he was excited for the new one, but had never seen the original.
So he's not a Tron fan.
That sounds like that's what it sounds like.
He was a Tron Legacy fan.
Well, no, I mean, if Tron Legacy was my first introduction to and I heard there was one before that, I'd check it out at some point.
Yeah.
Like he waited. When was Legacy come out?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. So he waited 10 years to see the first one.
Was it 10 years ago?
Yeah. For Tron Legacy came out, just about 10 years. It was 2007. Jesus Christ. It's crazy, right?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Or so, no.
No, 2010, wasn't it? I got to look it up now.
2010, yeah.
2010?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, 15 years ago. Wow, 15 years.
Yeah.
Did you?
2010. Yep.
2010.
I remember that because I remember a guy walking into the theater with the whole Tron outfit with the frisbee disc on his back that was lit up, and I don't remember why I remember it was 2010.
Jesus. Anyway,
but
so 15 years ago.
Was he blown away by the first movie, kid?
He was. He enjoyed it. We talked a lot about it, because, so they started the first movie up. It's, it's a slow going film.
No,
it's very, once you get into the grid stuff, they do establish a lot before, they enter the grid properly. And so, I think people were a little like, didn't know what was going on really with it, and then it's like, they did a little explain, all the computer generated stuff in that movie, they had no way to see what the they couldn't render it in real time, right?
Yeah.
So everything they were doing was math. It was just lines of code. Yeah. And then you'd hope that when it was rendered finally, when you could see it, they was able to get the shot they wanted. It's like super it was very, very ahead of the time for its time.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh boy, like you wouldn't do it that way nowadays, obviously. Right. So yeah, that was great. I mean, first movie played,
and it was remade, right?
So it was all 4K.
Yeah.
So they updated all the visuals. They updated, and I haven't been to the El Capitan in a long time. They just redid the sound system there a couple of years ago, so it's a full Dolby Atmos system. They had brand new projectors in there. So I mean, like a new curtain that went up. Beautiful. It was beautifully done. We had like a 10-minute intermission between movies. So it was 10 minutes. I went out, grabbed popcorn again and a little pizza. And then they played Tron Legacy. Obviously that movie is, I don't know, if you're not aware, it's really sick. The soundtrack is amazing. And
I'm not aware. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. But like hearing that soundtrack in the theater again and the crowd were going crazy, it was so great. And then in between, so we had a 10-minute break again between the second and third, which was shown in 3D. So that we had to wait till the break to go get our 3D glasses, which was kind of a pain in the butt. But it's like, so everyone rushed out to go grab their glasses and come back, sat back down, and then they started a laser light show, which lasted for about 10 minutes. They did the soundtracks from the first, second, third movie. And it was, we started off with lasers that looked like the grid of the original movie with light cycles going across and recognizers. And then they started playing the Daft Punk soundtrack, and we started getting more of that. And then that turned into the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. And like by the end, we're all just like, this is awesome. This is such a great event. And then, the third movie started.
Okay.
3 people were blinded.
Yeah. So tell us about Tron Ares. What do you think?
So,
is it your favorite one?
It's not my favorite one.
Is it your least favorite?
That's a really good question.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah, I think it might. Okay, well, here's the thing. The first one I have pure nostalgia with, right?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up watching that movie. I grew up with that on VHS. I had the board game. I was all in on Tron at a very young age.
Yeah.
That movie has a very, it's locked in my heart, right? It's in my digital DNA, if you will. The sequel is such a huge leap. I mean,
true.
You're talking about it was made 20 years after the first. And they do there's aspects of the original movie there, but they really pick their own sense of style, their own sense of design. Everything. And the soundtrack is just killer. Like that Daft Punk soundtrack, I think it's tough to beat. I think Nine Inch Nails with this new one does such an amazing job. The soundtrack is insane. It's bonkers. Go listen to it. Mm-hmm. It's all on Spotify. It's great. But what you don't see is, it's not like the director is bad at his job or not, but there's definitely like a now they're following a rule book with the style, right? Like this new one definitely, like the costumes look exactly. It's like more of a direct sequel from Legacy, in terms of like there's not a lot of changes in terms of a visual language. Right?
It looks similar from what I've seen. Yeah.
I wish there was more of a story connection in Legacy.
Yeah, I was about to ask the lead from Legacy. Do they reference him at all?
There is a Easter egg reference to the character. Sam Flynn does not show up. So first movie we talk is Kevin Flynn, which is Jeff Bridges' character. Sequel Legacy is about his son Sam Flynn. This third one pretty much does not deal with Flynns at all. So the third one is set, more modern day. You start with the birth of Ares, which is the Jared Leto's character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you see him get created in the grid, and immediately, like as he wakes up, he gets in a fight and is killed automatically. Then he's born again and killed and born again. And like you see the way his system is getting taught to fight and grow.
Yeah.
So he's getting better and better at fighting through the whole thing. You find out, and he gets he graduates from like a circular disc to this more triangle looking one that he has in the movie. He is actually part of Dillinger software systems. So he's not on the NCOM systems.
Yeah.
So this is a rival company, Dillinger, which is the character from the first movie, played by David Wagner.
Yeah.
That's Ed Dillinger. So this is the company that his family created after he got fired from NCOM.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So in this, you've got Evan Peters plays his grandson, who now runs the company. Gillian Anderson, his mother, who was the matriarch of the company, who got kind of pushed out.
Yeah.
And Evan Peters is there, and he's building Ares to be the new master control program of their system.
Yeah.
And we've seen this in the trailer, that he's able to use lasers to digitize,
like 3D print?
Yeah, like 3D print these warriors and their stuff into the real world, and try to sell it of like, hey man, you need an army on the spot? Boom, there they are. Like we can 3D print war right now. And, here's Ares, one of the greatest warriors you'll ever see. He's almost indestructible. But what he doesn't tell his stock, his company and everything, is that when they're brought into the real world, they have a countdown. Like they can only be in the real world for about 29 minutes. And then they de-res, basically, and go back into the grid.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point of the movie is they're looking for this MacGuffin, this code that'll give these characters permanence in the real world. So we cut to, I gotta look at the character names now.
I got them right here. So we got Eve Kim.
Yes.
Evan Peters as Julian Dillinger. Jodie Turner-Smith as Athena.
Let me tell you. Okay, she kind of stole the movie from me, but she kind of plays Ares' like right-hand man when they first started off, and so Eve Kim character is what's the character name?
Eve Kim's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Greta Lee. Greta Lee.
Yeah, Greta Lee's playing Eve Kim. Yeah, sorry. So she is the head of NCOM now, and she had a sister. They were a pair of twins. That one of Eve Kim was like more of the video game developer, and her sister was working on using the digital technology that Sam and the Flynns have to kind of feed the world, basically. One is to digitally make trees and stuff in harsh environments, but they still can't beat the 29-minute barrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So her character goes to like a replica of like Flynn's original lab to try and find this code, because there's like newspaper articles and stuff for Sam Flynn and a random woman that he was with, which we know from the Legacy is the and like they've kind of disappeared, and so like she's like, I think they might have this code that will bring permanence to these creations. So she's looking through old files, old floppy disks, finds the digital code, and is like letting know, like back in New York, like, hey, I'm coming back, I've got this code, kind of thing. Evan Peters' character hacks the NCOM system, and you looks like he's just typing away at his board, but it goes into the computer, and it's like computer warriors versus like Ares, Athena, and a few others break into like NCOM's system, like, and on their grid, and it's like fighting the warriors and trying to get the information of where she is so they can get the permanence code. So they get brought in. So he starts Ares' character. He's kind of like he's and this is where Jared Leto kind of is okay in the role. Like, he's playing this kind of very robotic, curious creation, where he's he shows up. They digitize him up, and he's in there, and he's talking to like the people they're trying to sell the army to, and he notices the rain outside, and he does a joke of like, I hope you guys bring your umbrellas, and like Evan Peters is like, that wasn't in the script. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop going off script. And there's something about, he's like just curious about the world, and Athena is like, like, what are you doing? Like, you're acting weird. And he's like, I just can't explain, like, because he's like, the rain, and she was like, what about it? Like, it's participate, but he's like, I just can't explain to you like the way it will feel, and so he gets set, like Dillinger is basically like, hey, you need to research this girl, and then you need to find her, find this code, and get it back no matter what, And so doing research, he finds out that she had this twin sister who died of cancer, and he looks through like all her texts and emails and stuff like that, like, and then so he kind of like realizes like he's learning like empathy because of it. So they show up in the real world, and it becomes very much like Terminator 2-esque, where like she's on the run, she's got the code on a digital stick and like a USB drive, and is on the run, and she's on her motorcycle. They're on the light cycles in real life. We've seen that scene. And then Athena is like almost like getting her, and Ares decides last minute to kind of change it up and is like, do you trust me? Like, I'm gonna save you, kind of thing. But when they do that, Dillinger's goons show up and digitize her and takes her to their grid. So she becomes a grid warrior because she takes the code stick and throws it away. Like, I don't have the evidence anymore. And she's like, you saw it. Like, you've seen the code. It's somewhere in your memory. If I make you a digital character, I can pull it out of your memory. And then I will have it, So they put her on the grid, and but they realize, like, if they remove this memory, it will probably destroy her as well, destroy the carrier. And Ares has a moment of like, do I want to kill this person, kind of thing, and basically, rises up against the system, and they escape. Coming back to the real world, while Athena's hot on their tail, Athena gets promoted to MCP. And Evan Peters is like, no matter what happens, like, you do whatever you need to get that code, and in doing so kind of creates, it's kind of like Moriarty when, like, in Star Trek, when they're like, hey, you have to take out Data and not take out, Sherlock Holmes. So Athena kind of goes on her own, like, rampage, and starts like rezzing up like recognizers and stuff like that. And then Peter's like, no, it's too much, too big. Like everyone's gonna question it. And like she basically turns against the humans.
Yeah.
And is like, no, you told me like I can do whatever I want to get this code. And he's like, oh no. So meanwhile, like, Jared Leto's Ares character, you see like he's got a 29-minute window in the real world, and he's like, we got to find the code again, or I'm dead. And like, so they realize like, well, we have a replica of Flynn's office in the Encom Tower. So probably that, like, I found his code originally at that office. Maybe if we go to that office, we'll find a replica as well. So they go to the Encom Tower. There's an old, Apple II computer there. Yeah. And they were like, well, if we digitally put you back into that system, it might be, the information might be in there. So they're about to digitize him again. And Athena shows up. She's ready to take him on, and then he gets pulled into the computer, and she takes out the laser so he can't get out again. And she's going to try and grab Aaron Kim to try and get the code. He's in this 1980s grid now, so they go straight back to like nostalgia bait, right? They go right back to the look of the original Tron.
That's cool.
And he gets to go around, and there's like the bit, taking him through, and he goes to like an I/O tower, and a version of Jeff Bridges' Flynn shows up. So that's where we get Jeff Bridges' return.
Gotcha.
And he's like, "Are you alive?" He's like, "Well, I'm here because you needed me here, man." Like it's very like, okay. And
so, but that's not the original him.
It doesn't seem to be. It seems to be like, because he's like, every time you leave a system, you leave a part of yourself there.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
And in Legacy, that wasn't the same system, right? It was a different...
No, that was a closed system. Yeah.
Okay.
So then, they talk about, he's like, so like, why, he's like, they're talking about, like, why do you want to be permanent? Why do you want this code? And Ares is like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to keep living this life over again where I keep getting killed off and brought back. It looks painful when they get de-res and stuff in the real world. It looks like, obviously they're like breaking down and falling apart. Yeah. And, he makes a joke, like, it's a joke of like, man, like, you kids nowadays haven't even heard of Mozart. And Ares is like, oh, I've heard of Mozart. I've heard all his work, but I like Depeche Mode. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, I just like Depeche Mode. He's like, well, why? He asks him why. And Ares, like, tries to give this very, like, well, because of the melodies. And then he just kind of stops and goes, I couldn't tell you why I love my love of Depeche Mode. I just do. And that's when Flynn's like, you get it, man. That's humanity, Just like, he's learned more that it's not just, like, you can't logic your way out of what you love kind of thing. So he gets the new source code added to his disk, and Flynn's like, okay, like, I can get you back to the real world, but there's a back door to my secret lab under the arcade.
Yeah.
So he goes out that way, but at that point, Athena is kind of, and you've seen it with the recognizer in the real world. It's like launching off bombs and stuff like that.
But does she only have 29 minutes? Like,
she does, but she's like, she keeps like getting deconstituted and coming back.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she's like keeps and every time she comes back, she's like a little stronger, a little crazier.
Oh, I see.
And like
Ra's al Ghul style.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I was like, she's really good in this.
Really?
Like,
okay.
I really like after watching this, I was like, she'd be a great Storm.
Oh, cool.
If Disney's still into it, yeah, like she's really the antagonist of the movie.
Okay.
Like Evan Peters is great as Julian Dillinger. He's got like really like tech bro energy. Like it's very like, you know, Lex Luthor from Batman v Superman kind of vibe. He's got like the circuit board tattoos all over him.
Don't say it.
I didn't say nothing.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But you know, like he's just kind of like, I'm gonna do this thing because I want to kind of guy, you know. And then like he realizes like his number's up when like, you know, recognizers are showing up in the street and like taking out buildings, and the cops are coming to get him, and he's like, oh, what do I do? And he's like fuck it, and like he digitizes himself into his grid. Like he's like, I gotta get out of here. Okay. So he goes into the computer world. Meanwhile, the people at Encom are like realizing like the only way, if they kill Athena in this world, she's just gonna escape back into that grid, into the Dillinger system, and reconstitute again. So they're like, we gotta hack into their mainframe, take out their system. So they hack in. They destroy the grid there, so they like throw like a bomb technically and destroy that. And then so she only has one life now. Basically, she's stuck in the world, but you know she's got Tron and not Tron, Ares and her again a little light battle, you know, like a little disc battle, and they both have their little tri-sided. I don't know. I don't like the triangle disc that they got going on now, but you know,
maybe you just didn't get the point.
There we go.
Yeah, a little bit of a.
But they're throwing those around each other, and I'd say the action's really well framed, really well. It looks good. They do some interesting stuff where like she has like a pike almost that creates a little light trail behind it, and so she's able to like create a little light trail and then like put her body weight onto it, so like do flips and stuff off it. It's kind of neat. I was like, all right, I dig it. And then you know, her time basically runs out, and then he's like, look, you've lost. I'm sorry. And then she's just like, I was just doing what I was told. You know, I was doing what I was programmed to do. You know, and she kind of dies off.
Does Ares kiss her?
No. He cradles her head.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm actually glad because I don't want like anytime they force a thing like that between thing, if it's not there, then it's just like ugh. Yeah. But so I'm glad then it didn't go that way.
And then you find out like so like cuts 2 months later, and like Encom is now using the permanence code to kind of feed the world and you know get rid of hunger and all that.
Okay.
And you know Ares sends a little postcard going, I'm out in the real world. I might be looking for some friends that know similar stuff. So kind of you know, like saying there might be another one down the line with Sam Flynn and stuff like that. Maybe. And Quora from the last movie.
You don't see like a beach house and then like an over the shoulder side is like, man, Flynn, where did you know? Just,
no. They cut to he's in like Milan, like he's in Rome or something, like checking out humanity. And then there's a little post credit.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you want me to spoil here or not.
I don't care.
You don't care?
Sure. I mean, I'm seeing it tomorrow. So
man, sorry. I just like, but yeah. So I won't spoil it. I'll keep it at that.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good. So you recommend it?
I do. I mean, it's. I don't think it is trying to be anything as revolutionary as the last one. I think the last one is gorgeous, looks amazing.
Yeah.
There's like this movie is very steadfast. It's very good. Solid film, good acting. But it doesn't try to
rehash a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have a few callback and things like that. You know, like there's one point a character said it's all in the wrists. There's there's stuff like that. But
mainly the things with the movies, since I've only seen the first two, and seen them spread apart, never one after the other. I never really grasped the world that they're in. Like a lot of it goes over my head because it's a lot of exposition to explain what it is. Yeah, and like I never fully got it. Like I've only seen the initial Tron like as a complete movie like once, and then the rest of it just it's been on TV and I caught parts.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know what exactly is going like the relationship to the real world. I just didn't really connect.
Right.
I'm exactly the same.
And I'm interested
I don't get it.
in
I don't. Yeah.
It's just I need to really sit down. Because then when I saw Legacy, I was like, okay, I know a little bit, but I don't know enough to like what is happening here. Like
it's a lot of big concepts to grasp.
Yeah, because like my understanding is they go into a computer system.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they're racing each other. But let's not
a video game.
Well, it's a video game.
Yeah.
Well, but part of it's like I don't. Are they connected to the web, or is it just everything's a closed circuit here, or
it's all like, closed systems.
Yeah,
is what it seems to be. It's all within servers. The first movie is pretty much Spartacus. That's all it is, right? Okay. It's like you have ones that believe in the users, the ones that, and then the MCP. It's just like, trying to tell people the users don't exist.
Did like Jeff Bridges created all of them? Like he created the universe that Tron is.
He created certain programs.
Okay, but Tron
that first
actually exists outside of him creating those programs. Like that's what I like. Did he like?
Are you talking about the first movie?
Yeah, in the first movie.
Yeah, so the first movie's on the server, like the NCOM system, right?
Yeah.
So everyone that works at NCOM, if you create a program, it'd be in the main server. Right?
I got that. Yeah.
So everyone. That's why all this like Tron looks like Bruce Boxleitner. Like it looks like their user, their creator. That's why like Clue, the character Clue, looks like Jeff Bridges.
Yeah,
because he created that. But he even says he's like, oh man, I shouldn't have made all those tank programs when all the tanks are chasing after them. Yeah. He's like, I created like 20,000 tanks.
But like, he sucked into the game and not like the server of the whole company.
No, yeah, because
that's what I don't.
MCP, because he was looking in the system to try and find the evidence that he built all these video games that Dillinger, the original Dillinger, basically took credit for, right? So, in there, like, the MCP was like, I'm going to put you on the game grid. Had nothing, so he wasn't like going to put him in an accounting software or whatever. He wasn't going to make him Clippy, but he could have.
I'm just intrigued because like outside in the world outside of this company, there is a universe of programs that like a Tron universe exists.
Yeah, the way you got. I mean,
that's what I'm like. I'm like
every system software would have Trons.
Oh, okay.
Little guys working their way in the.
Yeah. I was just always like, how is it's like what in happening in here is affecting outside there. So I was like, if nothing's happening, I don't like. I couldn't really make that connection. Like, it's only affecting in here. This is not a world-ending thing here.
No.
It's like, or it's not the Tron's ending of the world. Type of thing.
Okay, so got it.
Okay.
Huh. All right. No, I definitely want to check it out. I'm interested. I saw clips of Tron as a kid, and I was like, well, I'm not sure what's happening here, but I've never gotten into it.
Yeah.
That's all. So okay, well, good, man. I'm in your seat. You're going to watch it again. You said.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it probably this weekend. 4DX.
Good.
Okay. The light cycle race alone would be fun to do.
Would you own this movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Okay. I mean, yet again, I'm kind of a big nerd.
Do you own the first two?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you would you mainly own it just to add to the collection, or? But
yeah, and I'm one of those guys. I hope it does well. I hope it does numbers high enough that we don't have to wait another 15 years for another movie.
Yeah.
Would you want it to continue to follow Jared Leto's character, or you want someone else or a new character to pop up or something? Or do you prefer the Flynn's? Do you prefer Flynn's
I definitely want to jump back into the Flynn storyline because it is kind of abandoned for this.
Yeah.
Which was disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, we had so many, like, Tron Legacy left off with so many, like, oh, we got the ISOs and they're going to change the world. And then it just is kind of dropped. And what's really sad is like, so Tron Legacy, the character of Tron is barely in it. You know, obviously he's like corrupted. It becomes Rensler, in that movie. I don't know if you remember, like the character.
It's been so long.
2 discs. Anyway, that was supposedly Tron. He becomes Tron again at the end of that.
Okay.
Tron is not in this movie at all.
See, and I will say this right now. I completely forgot Tron was a character. I thought that was just the name. Like, that's the thing.
I know that's the thing. Like, people forget, like, Tron,
I thought it was just the name of the...
Bruce Boxleitner was Tron.
I thought it was the name of the IP.
And I'm just sitting there watching the movie going, like, I would like some Tron in my Tron movie, please.
Yeah. So, would you say, like, all right, if a person's introduced to this universe for the first time, it's okay if they watch this one first before the other two?
That's interesting. Because it does give you a little, like, lead-in at the beginning about, like, what's going on in the world.
Because it probably makes sense of it a little bit more, and then you're like, let me go see what happened before.
Right.
And then I was like, okay.
Because I think you could. I mean, you should definitely watch Legacy before. Because Legacy does kind of, like, hit all those notes as well.
Okay.
With the beginning of Legacy, it's kind of like the explanation of what happened in the last movie.
Yeah.
So I think you could do Legacy into this.
Okay.
And like I said, Nine Inch Nails, like, this soundtrack is so good. And it does have... It definitely feels like it dovetails really well into the Daft Punk one.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know, obviously it's a little harder. You know, it's Nine Inch Nails, but they definitely have the same vibes going.
Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm interested in watching it as well. I just have to catch up on the other two. So
yeah.
You
know,
good.
All on Disney Plus.
Yeah. And then we both saw. Well, I don't know if you watched One Battle After the Other.
I did not.
Okay, yeah. Chad and I saw it.
Yeah.
One Battle After the Other. Yeah. I mean, it's directed Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Sean Penn is in it. Benicio del Toro. Again, another stellar cast. Regina Hall's in it.
Soup to nuts.
Yeah, man. Cast. It's awesome cast.
P.T. Anderson, baby.
Yeah, man. From the trailers, I figured it was a type of, like, left-wing kind of Black Panther type organization that was fighting against, imperialism and capitalism in the modern United States. That's what I figured it was, and then it was just like the people who were caught up in this. It's a little more nuanced than that.
Yeah, the film trailer. Itself, I was just like, this militia group that Leo's a part of. From the trailer alone, I was like, okay, he did something back in the day, and now come back to bite him in the ass and that. And from the trailer, I thought Sean Penn took his daughter. Yeah. And, like, that is completely not the case here. And I was like, oh, okay, so there's much more nuance to this movie than initially expected. So, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Although, like, a lot of people said it was more funny than most PTA movies because he doesn't do too much comedy in his films. And I was like, I laughed a lot. The audience laughed out loud a lot at a lot of points, especially with Sean Penn's character. It's a little more. Some people were saying he's a little bit more cartoony than the rest of the cast,
very much
which
so.
is true.
Very much so. But
I think it was necessary to make him a little more dynamic anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, the film is about the French 75 who Leonardo DiCaprio's character is Ghetto Pat Calhoun. Perfidia Beverly Hills is his lover and is also his accomplice in the French 75. You know, they blow up. They are, again, like a left-wing group that blows up banks, government agencies,
frees prisoners.
Yeah. They carry out a big operation, which is they don't call it ICE. It's like an ICE detention center. Yeah. They don't call it ICE. They call it some other organization.
I don't remember the name of the detention center.
Yeah. And so they carry out these attacks on the government, on government agencies. They free a couple people who are in like an ICE type detention center. Yeah. Perfidia Beverly Hills, who is again, she's kind of like the second in command of the French 75. It's implied. Played by Tiana Taylor. She during this operation to free these detainees from this detention facility, she points a gun at Colonel Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn, who a little on the nose, that name, but whatever. You know, it's. But I understand what they did with his character.
Yeah.
He eventually finds her trying to plant a bomb, and he says, "I can pretty much send you to prison for the rest of your life." So she kind of exchanges sex with him in order to. He becomes fascinated with her after that initial assault. Yeah. Follows her around, knows where she is, can see her through.
He's been like tracking them.
Yeah, tracking. You know, so you can arrest her at any time. He is a. It's implied he's in the military, but he also works for some type of. Because the military isn't allowed to carry out law enforcement operations, at least not yet. I mean, that's but he's also is an agent for this ICE type organization, Immigration Customs Enforcement, ICE. But he catches her in the act, and she trades sex with him in order for her to not be sent to prison. Eventually, he says, "If you cooperate with me, I can make sure that you stay out of prison," because she is eventually caught.
Yeah.
What happens is that there's a lot of ironic scenes in this film where people who you would think are dedicated to a certain cause are really not.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of hypocrisy in this film, which is fine. Which I like that. I like that characters are complicated.
Yeah.
They rob a bank in order to get money for the organization. And Perfidia shoots a security guard in the stomach, and it's a black man. It's somebody who is not supposed to be part of this, revolutionary war that they're because they constantly talk about people of color. Most of the people in their organization, the French 75, are people of color. So ironically, the first person that she shoots and kills is a person of color. She shoots him in the stomach. He's kind of still squirming. She keeps saying, "Stop moving, man." Even though
he's reaching for his gun. He's like a security guard at the
bank. In the bank. She says, "Stop moving, stop moving." She shoots him. They take off. There's a huge chase scene as they're trying to get away from the cops through the city. They end up crashing. She runs, but she gets caught. And that's when Lockjaw, who's been her lover this entire time, says, "If you cooperate with the government, I can make sure that you get a good deal. I can be in your corner." She takes the deal, and even though she's already had a baby, she leaves Leonardo DiCaprio, leaves him with their daughter, and she takes a deal and rats out a bunch of people from the French 75 who get arrested. Yeah. So again, she's supposed to be this revolutionary, soldier carrying out these attacks against the government, and now she's cooperating with the government and turning in her own people.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of them are getting picked up because of the testimony she gives. She goes into the witness protection program in this like very cookie cutter suburban home where Lockjaw is now kind of like showing up to her door with like flowers and candy. Finds out she's not home. He breaks down the door and she's gone. And we cut to 17 years later where her daughter is now 17 years old. Her and her father, Leonardo DiCaprio, are in hiding. They've taken up aliases. They've pretty much gone into witness protection themselves unofficially because they're in hiding.
Oh,
okay. He's kind of become, he goes by the name Bob now, Leonardo DiCaprio. He's become paranoid, kind of addicted to drugs. They're living off the grid. And this is where we see, that in the trailer where his friends show up in the driveway. He's like, "Oh, who's this?
Yeah.
Are they them? Are you them? What is this?" And she's like, "What's wrong with you? It's not that difficult. It's they, them." So he shows he's like also a little out of touch in this. Yeah. He's supposed to
just calling him homie. He's
like,
hey homie.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a revolutionary, but he's also kind of out of touch with the younger generation.
He's still older.
He's been smoking a lot and drinking. And, and as time has went on after his wife left him, and whatnot. So he's out of touch with the French 75 and just with his daughter. He's just at least trying to keep her safe in some capacity.
And Perfidia has gone to we see her cross the border into Mexico, so she's been out of their lives for 17 years.
Yeah.
And, eventually, this is what I like about Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, because he definitely he'll lean into some really crazy shit a lot in his films, and I love that, and he does that here, when Lockjaw tries to join a group called the Christmas Club or something.
Christmas Adventurers Club.
Christmas Adventurers Club.
It's pretty much just another name for like a fascist. I mean,
it's a white supremacist
fascist
group. Group.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's got I'm forgetting the actor's name, but he's the bad guy from Ghost.
Yeah.
Forgot his name too. Goodwin.
Yeah.
Goldwyn.
Something like
Tony
that.
Goldwyn.
Yeah, I think Tony Goldwyn.
Yeah,
that sounds right. And James Downey.
Tony Goldwyn, yes.
James Downey or Jim Downey from SNL. Mm-hmm. Like, it was surprisingly to see him in there as well. I was like, what? And then there were like two other guys.
Kevin Tigg is in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is Kevin Tigg the one from Lost, the dad of John Locke? Yeah. He's I haven't seen him in a long time, so he was like much older. But yeah, they're like this. It was so funny because we are introduced them in this house. Like, there's a tunnel underneath the house.
It's a beautiful like
suburban
home. It looks like the home out of like Home Alone.
Yeah.
And he goes into this house, and it's this, wasp lady in there. Like, hey, can I make you some cookies? Yeah, definitely. I'd love some. Let me get to it. And he goes into this tunnel, into this underground bunker that has these miles-long tunnels running under it. And he goes into this weird room where it's like a hunter's kind of lodge-looking thing. It's got like a lot of nature and stuffed animals, a lot of nature pictures and stuffed animals everywhere. And that's where the meeting of the Christmas Adventurers Club is. Yeah, and they're trying to get Lockjaw in, but they suspect something's up.
Yeah,
because he's been kind of lenient with the French 75 members. He cooperated with one of them, so they don't, because they're white supremacists. He can't have any type of children that are mixed blood
or any mixed race. Like, you have any relations with any people of color and things like that and stuff. So they're trying to look into his background, and to prevent to be able to join, he's like, I need to clear this mess up with my daughter.
Is there reasons why he wants to join this group, or
it's just an exclusive club that it's implied they're like the Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
where he
like
gets access.
Skull and Bones.
Gets access. It's a prestige thing. Right. He's again. I love that this movie deals with a lot of class, and he is definitely out of his league with these people.
Yeah,
right.
The first time we see him, they summon him when they offer membership to him. It's at Tony Goldwyn, one of his members of the club.
Yeah,
it's like a senator.
Yeah,
his daughter,
Jim Downey. It's that guy.
His daughter is getting married, and they meet with him in a side room. They say, "I'm sorry, we didn't want to invite you into the wedding because you're underdressed, because everybody's in tuxedos.
Yeah,
and he's just in a suit.
They're all well.
And you could see that they kind of they look down on him, and they say, "But we're offering membership to people in the military because that's something that we can." Yeah. Saying like, you're not part of us, but we need your expertise.
Right.
It's probably something we should have on board.
Right.
The second meeting is when they have this. They offer membership. Obviously, we have to go through a process where we'll screen you.
Yeah.
And that's where they find out that he might have a mixed race daughter, which is because they're a white supremacist fascist group. They can't have that. So they're giving him a second interview, and they say, you have to clean this up. And they call in what's his name. Tony Goldwyn, and it seems like he's some type of like a tracker, like a private investigator for the club itself. So they send him after Lockjaw to make sure that he's not hiding something from them.
Yeah, like he's a cleaner.
Cleaner type. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And also they have a saying to end their meetings, like "Hail Saint Nick."
Yeah,
and stuff, because
and they do a triangle.
They do a triangle thing,
which is supposed to be like the Illuminati symbol. They try with their hands on their chest.
It's a Christmas tree.
Right. So Lockjaw goes, and he has to find this girl who he suspects may be his daughter, but because she's mixed race, we don't know if it's Leonardo DiCaprio or Lockjaw's daughter. We're not. Leonardo DiCaprio just assumes that she's his daughter,
right?
But because she is half black, half white, it might be either one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So it might be their father. So Lockjaw goes after Leonardo DiCaprio. He gets word from the French 75 that they're coming for the remaining members of the French 75 who are still left, that they're coming for him. She goes off to a dance, and Leonardo DiCaprio links up with her sensei at her dojo, who's played by Benicio del Toro, who is also a revolutionary member, but is more associated with like a Latino based revolutionary group,
underground system for Latinos,
who also hides undocumented people and tries to move them around. They know that the government is now coming for them. They mobilize the community to protest in the streets against this ICE type raid that's coming. It's a very movie topical of our time. Exactly. Yeah.
It's weird though. Like he started on this years ago, and it's still topical.
Yeah. Exactly. Wow. Yeah. So Leonardo DiCaprio links up with. He is able to contact his daughter. They go into hiding at a convent that is also run by French 75 type nuns who were also revolutionary.
I think they went into hiding after the mom ratted them, because one of them used to be run with the mom.
Oh, right. Yes.
And she was like, we don't like rats in here. And because she's like, we had to go into hiding because of the mom ratted us out and stuff.
Yeah.
But they do kind of like arm deal. It's like some kind of, they sell stuff out of there.
Right.
It's like a weird station for them.
Eventually, Lockjaw does catch up with his daughter because they do raid the compound, and she gets captured. And Lockjaw takes her aside with the chapel of this, because it looks like they're at a mission, it seems, Spanish mission. And he does a DNA test right then and there with, I don't think this is possible, but he's got some kind of machine that can test DNA. And he tells her, if these lines line up, meaning we're related, you got a problem. They don't, then you're good. He's basically saying, I'm going to have to kill you because I can't have you come to light because of the Christmas Adventurers Club.
I'm sure that's the system Maury uses in the back, the tell if people were the dad or not of the kid. You are not the father.
You're not the No, but they were doing those tests weeks before the show.
No, I know, but I was like, I was like, that's the little system he has on site.
Yeah.
For like, oh, we got to do it here. Well,
So the bars do line up, so they are related. And is it Willa? Is her name? Yeah, Willa.
Yeah, Willa.
Willa says, "Well, I have a father, and it's not you. So even if we are related, you're not my father."
Yeah.
And it's the first time that we see Lockjaw, who is also Chris Penn plays him. Yeah, Sean Penn plays him really well. He's kind of awkward the way he walks. He has he has a stick up his ass.
Yeah.
And he has a very strange haircut that's just this kind of like mop that's like on top of his head.
It's a weird
little tiny speck of hair that he's constantly combing as he like licks his comb and licks it. And so you could tell like the other people in the Christmas Adventurers Club are WASP, very very well educated, very well dressed. They walk differently, they handle themselves differently. Like their shit doesn't stink. Is that right? So, and you could tell they look down on him, but they do need his expertise for him to be in the club. He basically tells her she has to die. And it's interesting because it's the first time we see him kind of crack a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
he even says like there's lines like, if we knew each other like at a different time, it might have been different. Yeah. And he tells her because she was at a school dance when she got tipped off that people were coming for her. So the entire time she wears this kind of tutu. Oh yeah.
She has like a leather jacket and tutu. She's like a little bit of femininity still with her, despite her being this. She has been trained in the revolutionary ways by her father.
Yeah.
To handle guns, to handle herself. But Sean Penn tells her, if you're going to a school dance, you should look pretty. You should have prettied yourself. It's
put on makeup.
Put on makeup. Yeah.
He still wants to be a dad.
In a way, yeah.
It's like a weird.
The only time we see his humanity kind of come out and his hesitation come out.
But also he fights that in the moment too, because he turns on and is like, you're just like your mother, because he throws some racial slurs at her as well, just to fight the urge of being a father, because he now knows that it is true. So it's like, and like he can't kill her himself. He can't bring himself to do it. So he's hiring this Native American tracker guy that helped him initially to find one of the French 75 to deliver her to somewhere to be killed and stuff.
So he hires he's can't remember his name, but he's Native American, right? Like another cleaner, basically that works for him. And he says, I'm not gonna kill her. I don't do kids. He says.
Yeah.
So he takes her out to the desert, meets this guy. He says, I don't do kids. So Sean Penn says, well, can I give you the money and you take her down to this other, like, it's like a white supremacist biker group.
Yeah, like
that he knows. Yeah.
Off-roading.
It's like a far right militia.
Hunters,
yeah. The guy agrees. Is it Avanti? That's his name.
Yeah, Avanti. Yeah.
Avanti. As they're before all that, they're trying to transport Will out. Leonardo DiCaprio tries to take a shot at Lockjaw, misses, and so now he's trying to get his daughter back, but because he's a bomb maker, he's not really a fighter.
Yeah,
he's very overmatched.
Yeah.
I thought he did because we didn't see where Lockjaw after that
hit?
shot, so I thought he got hit and he just. Because it looked like he was hurt getting into the car.
Right, he's just like sucking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but he missed.
Yeah. So Avanti drops Will off with this like right-wing white supremacist militia, and they agree to kill her. There's maybe half a dozen of them at their little compound.
They're not even like making eye contact with her. They're just walking by her
they sit her outside their shack and they're just kind of walking by completely not paying attention to her. She's handcuffed this entire time. This was the only part of the film that I was like, that's kind of weird. Because Avanti gets in his car. He drives her all the way out there.
Yeah.
Drops her off, gives the money to these guys, and then sits in his car and then thinks about it, has second thoughts, and then grabs a shotgun and goes in and starts blasting these guys. It's just, it was a little strange.
Well, I didn't think it was too off because, like, the guy he dropped her off to, like, made
talking shit,
comment, and there's calling him some names and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was like making fun of him being, and then like racial names for Native Americans.
Yeah, and so I think him driving, because when he was driving her down there, he was asking, like, is anyone gonna come looking for you? Like, I think there's some resentment or a regret that he had in the past of some kind. Where he's like, you know what, I'm not doing that. Like, I can't, because he's in a way he's still part of it. If he dropped her off, it's not like he's innocent.
True.
So it's just like I can see him doing that. I thought, if anything, the only thing that I would have had a problem with it is why didn't he go at that a little bit smarter, taking those guys, because he gets taken down just at the same time.
It's really well shot. Again, Paul Thomas, really well shot,
beautifully shot. Yeah.
She's he goes in with a shotgun, starts blasting. She runs away to his car. Yeah, we don't see any of the action afterward. It's almost like it kind of reminded me of No Country for Old Men to an extent. Some of the action scenes because they happen off screen. Yeah. We hear a bunch of shooting. She grabs a weapon that's in his car, goes back because she needs the car keys to get out of there that he has on him, that Avanti has on him. Everybody's dead. Like, everybody's been lit up. Yeah. She finds the keys, goes back. Eventually, Tony Goldwyn, Virgil is his name, Tony Goldwyn, catches up to Lockjaw, pulls up next to him on the road, and blasts him in the face with the shotgun. Lockjaw goes flying off the road in his car, and Tony Goldwyn, Virgil, continues down the road. Leonardo DiCaprio catches up to Lockjaw, sees that he's dead, and can't find Willa, and they have a code to identify themselves. Yeah. They have to say a certain phrase.
But also they're carrying these remote things that when they come in within like 100 yards
something like that,
it plays a song, a melody together.
Yeah. So, they're synchronizers to identify each other. Yeah.
But they still needed to identify with the saying just in case, because
someone grabbed it.
Obviously she's very weary of people now because of how many people tried to kill her already. So
Leonardo DiCaprio takes off. We see that Willa is now being chased by Tony Goldwyn, who has to eliminate her as well. And there's a really good shot because it looked like it was Arizona or Utah or something.
I think I was looking it up. I think it was in Texas.
Oh, that makes sense. But the road they do these waves as up and down, as
like you can't see over like if you're going down
crests up.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So Willa, who is again, I love that she I hate this term, but lack of a better word, she's not like a girl boss. Like every time she comes up against somebody who's stronger than her, she loses. Lockjaw she tries to run away from him. Yeah. Sean Penn, she just grabs her and is like, come on. She tries to kick against Avanti. He just throws her in the car. Yeah, she's 17. She's a kid. She's not a fighter. She's not
realistic.
She's not overly strong.
Yeah.
She's smart, and she notices that Tony Goldwyn's character is following her. So when she crests one of these hills, she stops her car, gets out, gets on the side of the road, and since it's you can't see the car until you're coming up over the crest, Tony Goldwyn just smashes into her in the car she stole. And she says, identify herself. She gives the phrase, whatever it was. Tony Goldwyn doesn't do it, so she shoots him. He goes for his gun. She finishes him off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Eventually, Leonardo DiCaprio catches up to her, and he gives a phrase, and she also has the tracker on him. And they reunite. Then we see Lockjaw coming up over the hill. He's been shot in the face, and half his face is hanging off.
Yeah.
But he's still walking like normal.
Well, he's walking as
limping up. Yeah, he survived the shotgun blast to the face in the car accident.
And we see that time has passed, and his mangled face is
healed. It's like a year later. His face is all mangled to shit. He finally gets accepted into the Christmas Adventurers Club, and they say this is it's just a corporate plain office, and they say, hey, this is your office, and he's so oh, thank you, sir, I'm so excited, and he finally unbuns his coat and puts his feet up, and as soon as that guy shut the door, I was like, oh shit, he's dead. So this guy who introduces him to his office shuts the door, and then you hear gas coming in through the AC vents, and he dies, and some guys come up, they take his body, and that's the end of the
Part of me thought that, like, I don't know why my head, obviously a dark humor enough to think about it, but when he closed the door on him and they were in this high-rise building, I was like, is a plane going to hit this building? Because I wasn't... no, that's where my head went. I was like, is that, like, I mean, it would be... It's too on the nose.
All like, 2001.
Yeah, it's like, what? Like... They needed a body in that building, or they were going to demo the building at least.
I thought that as soon as he closed the door, I knew he was going to die. Somebody was going to come and shoot him. But as soon as he closed the door, I was like, oh, they're going to gas him.
I thought at least because they said, we were constructing on this building. We're about to move in, and I was like, oh, they're going to demo this building or something. I didn't think it was going to be gas or something like that. Yeah. But I was like, that makes more sense, gas.
Yeah, so it just shows that they were just using him in the end. Right. And they probably never intended him to be part of the Christmas Adventurers Club.
Well, part of me thought maybe they were, but like now that he looks mangled and weird, he's too gross looking or to be a part of their image.
Or he's just failed.
And that too.
Because they know his daughter got away.
His daughters are out
One of their members
somewhere.
Was killed, so it's just this guy cannot be allowed to keep going. Yeah. So it's like the mafia.
They had to go through all that rehab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His face is totally. I mean, just like part of his lip is missing.
Oh man.
It just looks nasty. Yeah. Yeah. So great. It was. It's a great film. It's got some interesting messaging. Again, I like how people are complicated in this. They're a lot of them like, revolution, everything for the cause. And as soon as they get in some kind of trouble, they're like, oh, hang on, no. Yeah. One of the guys who's their kind of IT guy who also designs the trackers, he gets arrested and he's like, fuck you, I'm not saying shit. And they said, oh, really? How about we go after your sister? Yeah. And he's like, no, I'll cooperate.
I'd say the only one who is like truly, or the
Benicio Toro, I think, is the only
Benicio,
the true revolutionary.
He's the. But I would say, what's her name? The one who runs with the daughter initially from Scary Movie. I forget the actress.
I know
she was amazing.
Yeah.
I've only seen her in comedies, but she was great. But I would say she was down with it up to the point where Lockjaw caught her in the end, where because
Regina Hall.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, okay.
And she was she was down with like, you're gonna disappear, give me that phone and everything like that, and then like when she got caught, she fought with it for a bit, but then she like gave up the missionary where all the women were at. Right. And I was like, man. So like you could see some were stronger with the cause, and then some, like, as much as they held out, there's something that people could get at them with.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
But Benicio, even like he gets arrested at a point and he's like, just a few beers, Yeah. Just like that was a great line with but he didn't care. Like that he got caught, he was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not giving you anything. Even though they weren't even after him. It was just because they saw him drinking in the car. So, which is a good cover. Like, to be pulled over for that instead of, like, running from...
drunk.
Just pretend you're drunk.
Yeah, and that's when he has Leonardo. We see that in the trailer. He has Leonardo in the car with him. He's like, all right, hop out, and I'll take care of this. I'll just say I'm drunk, or I've been drinking, whatever. So, and that's how... Because he also springs him from a hospital after he gets caught by the cops. And this kind of riot demonstration that's going on outside of his apartment. So, but yeah, it's a great film, man. It's, Paul Thomas Anderson. It's a fun film.
Yeah.
And the title really, the whole movie, it's one battle after another that they're like constantly going through. And it's just no, I wouldn't be surprised for some nominations for that. That's good for
buzz.
Sure. Yeah,
really good acting in it.
Yeah,
solid cast. It was good. I really liked the actress that played Willa. She really killed it.
Is she like a new?
I think it's her first major film. Chase. Really? Her name's Chase Infinity.
Chase Infinity.
Yeah. So I think it's her first major film. Damn. So
I know she did a great.
Yeah, she's really smart. I saw an interview
with her, and she said she was named after Batman Forever. Like Chase.
Yeah.
For a minute I thought you were just joking.
No.
She's serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her parent was that big of a fan of Batman Forever.
Chase Meridian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's got a bright future. She's a great actress, and again, I liked how they didn't make people indestructible. They all felt like real grounded individuals who make mistakes and get scared and turn on people when they think that's the only option. So
also, I just like how human Leo's character was with just like even though he was a part of this cause initially, like after years you aren't gonna be on your A game. You're gonna lose a lot of your the know-how and stuff. So the frustration getting back into it with him, like trying to figure out the codes and like I don't fucking know,
because he has to the French 75 members still have cells around everywhere. So in order to get a rendezvous point with his daughter, he has to say a certain phrase and he just doesn't remember. So he's screaming over the phone at the guy. He's like, do you know who I am? Are you kidding me? And so it's great. It's
funny.
Yeah, it's
put me on with your handler.
Yeah.
It's just like funny. It's just
Let me talk to your manager.
Yeah, basically, much, And the guy gets on the phone. It's like, oh yeah, I know who you are. It's okay. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you fuck.
Yeah.
Give me the coordinates.
Yeah, and again, he takes a shot at Lockjaw, completely misses.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close. Yeah. So, great film. Highly recommend it. Go see it. I mean, the box office is at 115 right now. The budget was 130 or 175. I don't think they're going to make their money back, which is too bad because
his movies are one of those things too that never really like.
It's his highest grossing film so far. I mean, highest cost film so far, highest budgeted. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope it does well. I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
Well, and it's definitely getting a critical hit. So.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah,
sure. It might do well in the awards section. I hope it does. Hope it gets recognition it deserves.
Yeah.
Star cast. And then Watson, you saw Smashing Machine.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Oscar buzz.
Yeah, this does not. Yeah. I mean,
they're really trying for they're trying really hard to make this an Oscar-worthy movie. You've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and playing Mark Kerr, who was one of the originators of so the movie is set between 1997 and 2002. It's about Mark Kerr's career in mixed martial arts. It's basically there's a 2002 documentary called Smashing Machine, which documents this pretty well. I mean, there's some scenes that are kind of taken verbatim right from the documentary.
Really? Okay.
It's interesting. I watched a lot of interviews recently with Mark Kerr, and that guy has lived a crazy life.
Yeah.
And like he'll tell you about it, and it's like I kind of wish they didn't really get into some of the earlier stuff with him because it is very much a sliver of life. It's directed by Ben Safdie.
Yeah.
And so it's very like gritty and handheld, and it's interesting to have The Rock, who is, in his 50s, playing Mark Kerr, who was at his 20s at the time. Because him and Mark Kerr and The Rock are only like 3 years apart right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but, it's an interesting movie. It's him, starting his MMA career. They kind of talk about like UFC a lot in the trailers and stuff. And like, oh, is it the guy who started UFC? But really, like, he was in UFC a little bit, but it's mostly set in Japan and Pride. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of him flying over to Japan. Emily Blunt plays his girlfriend, who is... It's right off the bat. It shows them in a scene where, like, he wakes up and she's making him a protein shake, but she's like using the wrong milk. He's like, "Is this the skim milk?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, skim milk. I'm on the whole milk, baby." Like, I will say The Rock is trying. He's got the mannerisms of Mark Kerr, the very soft spoken.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see any interviews with him. He's very soft spoken, very like. Very kind of like, and you get like this kind of passive aggressiveness, like to this character who is when he's in full fight mode, it's scary to see because he's just so big. Yeah. And these are the days of early MMA where he could rain elbows on people's heads, and you see him eye gouge, you see him, it's brutal. And for The Rock as well, the director asked the Rock to get bigger. And he is uncomfortably big. Like, you see him walking, and it looks like he's just in pain. And so the character itself, Mark Kerr, real guy, had a lot of problems with addiction to pain medication at the time. Would constantly be going to his doctor, going like, the stuff he gave me is it hurts my tummy. So if I could just get the stuff so I can shoot it up myself instead of the stuff for my stomach. Like trying to work the system to get bigger dosage, and like I don't want to come into the office every 2 weeks. Can you give me a higher dosage? And so we see a lot of that happen in the movie. There's also a lot of like. Tell not show. So there's a scene where Mark Kerr is like he's you see, so he's training with this guy Mark Coleman, right, who was his real friend, who was also training for Pride at the time. And so Coleman gets a phone call from Emily Blunt's character. Emily Blunt's like, he fell down while he was in the house, and he fell down, and I tried to wake him up, and he wouldn't wake up, and then the ambulance came, and they couldn't wake him up, and then he's in the hospital. Come get him. So Mark Coleman shows up at the hospital, and you see a scene of which is also in the documentary of him telling Mark Kerr, going like, look, if you keep doing this shit, you're gonna die. You don't see the scene where what you want to see is the scene where the Rocker, he's stoned out of his mind and will fall down. That's like the Oscar scene that would have been, And then like he gets set to rehab, and it's literally like you see him enter rehab, and then it's like cut to him coming out of rehab. There's none of the scenes of him struggling. It's just a lot of like, I was on drugs, and then I wasn't, and then I went back to Japan, And then during this time, Mark Coleman character is kind of like, he trained with Mark Kerr, and it's like he kind of got out of the game for a bit, and then when Kerr was in rehab, he went back into Pride and started to make his kind of meteoric rise. And so it kind of feels like it should be more Mark Coleman's story. Than Mark Kerr, and so it's a little disappointing in that, because it is more of like, it's very real life. So don't expect like a movie like Warrior, where it's like brother versus brother, because you like the setup of this movie.
Wrestler.
Yeah, like you kind of expect this kind of. He got his life back together, and he's in rehab. He's out of rehab, and he's gonna go back to Pride, and maybe he's gonna have to fight his best friend for the world championship. Yeah, it doesn't go that way. Like Mark Kerr, he gets back in and he wrestles, but he loses, you know? And then he doesn't even get to fight his friend. Like, his friend goes on and becomes champion, which is real life. That's what happened. But it doesn't make for a great movie story, you know? So it's an interesting slice of life movie. There's scenes where The Rock's really trying. Like, there's a lot of him, like, kind of just doing the cold stare into the mid-distance, kind of stoned stuff. But when he's trying to be show emotion, there's just not quite the range yet. Like, I mean, it was just, I noticed that every time, like, he had to do a crying scene, you never saw the tears. Yeah. Like, he would always, like, put his hands to his face or, like, cover his face with a blanket and cry. And I was like, can The Rock not cry on cue? Is that what's going on?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, depending on the point of the character, some people, they hide their tears in like a pillow or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, I could see them, like, them trying to muffle themselves in that sense. But, like, since I didn't see it, I can't really tell if that was the case. But
you know, the ending of it is you know, he's in Pride and he loses a match and he takes a shower, and there's kind of this moment of, like, because the whole point, the character for the longest time was on this winning streak, just never lose. And they ask him in an interview, like, what would you do if you lose this match? He's like, I can't even think about that. Like, I don't know what I'd do. And then when he finally loses, it's like he breaks him down. Like, it breaks him.
Oh, wow.
And then when he loses at this point, at the end of the movie, like, he's kind of accepted it. Of like, yeah, that happened, you know? And, you know, there's, like, a little blurb at the end of, like, Mark Kerr kept wrestling, you know, kept doing...
Like a text blurb?
Yeah, just like he kept going until 2009. And then he retired, you know? And they show the real guy and stuff, but it's just, like, it's trying really hard to be, like, prestige movie, but it feels like it's trying too hard. And I don't know if it's because The Rock's too old now. He's, like, aged out of its role a little bit. Like, Mark Kerr had insane life. Back in, like, 1994, he was wrestling to be on the same Olympic wrestling circuit that, like, Kurt Angle was in. Oh. And then, like, he was wrestling at Foxcatcher Ranch when that guy got shot. Oh. And then, like, his dad died of cancer, like, that week. Like, it was all in the same month. Jesus. But he would have been, like, 19 years old. Yeah. You can't get The Rock to play that.
Yeah. Right, you know? right.
So I feel like, we're just going to do this section of his life where The Rock can kind of play that character. Because it is it feels like it was a vehicle built for The Rock.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe they should have done the later years of Mark Kerr and, like... Yeah. I don't know the guy because I never really watched all that stuff or kept track of it. But, like, if he looked back at fighting and like maybe he's like, I would love to get back into it, and, like, there's just a lot of regret or wants to continue but he can't. And
from what I've read and everything, like, he retired and then became, like, worked at a Toyota dealership. You know, so. I don't know how much taffy there is to pull on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird.
You know,
but it's weird that Ben Safdie would shoot because, like, his last thing was Uncut Diamonds and Gems, and so it's just, and that's completely fictional, right?
Yeah.
So to do a real life character, I mean, I don't know. That's interesting.
Well, and it's it's The Rock's production company is behind it.
That's true.
I feel like it was one of those things of, like, he wants to be a legitimate act. He wants to, like,
to actually make himself lose in something is rare. That's, I think I forget where I read it, but I remember, like, Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel and The Rock have a thing where they can't lose to each other or something like that, or they can only take a certain amount of time. Yeah. So I do like it when an actor can humble himself, or an action star humbles himself with a loss of any kind. So,
he does. I mean, like, he does good in the role. He does get, like, you do kind of forget it's The Rock for most of the movie. I mean, he's wearing a lot of heavy prosthetics.
Yeah.
And then he added, I think, 40 pounds of weight to him.
Wow.
Would you say
to get just bigger?
Would you say his acting in this was as good as his oh my god, what's the name of the movie where they kidnapped Tony Shalhoub?
Pain and Gain.
Yeah, Pain and Gain.
I actually like him in Pain and Gain.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's more of a natural role for him. I think in this he's really trying hard to delve deep on a character. I wish there was more for him. I think Emily Blunt as well is like. I think the problem too is like you're jumping in and they really want to make this like a character piece and like, hey, look at this dysfunctional couple. Because the fights are kind of like secondary in the movie.
Really?
It's really about their relationship.
Oh wow!
But because they're already established, like when you're coming in, they're already a couple.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no like I don't have any like context of where they are. So it's hard to kind of like root for either one. And she's kind of crazy. And we'll like he's in Japan, he's about to go to a fight, and like she'll show up and start screaming at him.
You know, I mean, maybe if anything, I don't know how interesting it would be, but if they followed her character for the movie and her point of view of him fighting, and then like, well,
I mean, they do give her some of that.
I've seen that in the trailer where she's kind of reacts, but like maybe it should be.
But she's as chaotic as he is. It's kind of the thing.
Well, but like that's still entertaining if someone's chaotic. But I'm just saying, like it would be better for people who weren't like I didn't know Pride was a thing or in all that like how it all started. Yeah. So like maybe it would be good to approach it from a character outside of that world,
like
so we can
I mean
take it in.
Yeah, like the first match he loses. Is like he's at Pride, and it's literally they right before his match they say, oh, and by the way, the rule is you can't knee to the head anymore. You know, the top of the head is not allowed, and so he's fighting, and the guy just keeps kneeing him into the top of the head. And so when they call the fight and he comes out, he's angry at. He's like, look, you said that was illegal. You kept hitting me on the head, and so they call it like a no contest. Like, you're right. He shouldn't have done that. No contest. Like, and he's like, I didn't win though. Like.
Oh, I see. Yeah. He didn't win the way he wanted to.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. It's a very like slice of life of this guy, and boy, it's a weird road. But it's like I just feel like there wasn't enough meat on the bone. I'd really suggest watching the documentary. Yeah. The Smash Machine documentary from 2002, which pretty much documents this whole time as well, that's fascinating.
Okay. Would you recommend Smashing Machine? This movie?
I would. Yet again, I wanted just more from it. Because of Safdie Brothers being part of it and everything. I expected a little more. Like Uncut Gems is like one of those things which was like, God, that movie just hit. Yeah. And I feel like they were trying to get that kind of performance out of The Rock. They couldn't quite get it, and it was like there wasn't enough story there to really go into it.
Maybe for the Rock, it needs to be a juxtaposition to like. He needs to play a character that's not an athlete, not physically, fit.
He's saying he's playing Chicken Man next. I don't know what that is.
That's
why he's losing thin. All the way. He's supposed to be playing like a 90-year-old Chicken Man.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, maybe that's gonna blow it out of the water.
I honestly don't want him to stop. My worry is like this isn't gonna do well, so he's gonna be like, oh, I gotta get back into doing like family friendly movies again. I gotta do Jumanji 17 or whatever.
He just needs to step away and really value because John Cena, he's making decent choices.
I'm telling you, the last episode of Peacemaker. Yeah. Holy shit! He pulled out a piece of acting that I got goosebumps.
Oh really? Wow!
If you guys are up to date with it or anything, but he has a real gut. Like, there's a moment in the show where a character dies, and he has this guttural scream that I mean, honestly, I was like, wow, like it blew me away.
Wow.
Like Corn Sweat Superman when he shoots the halal guy, sort of like that kind of scream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it just, and I did not expect that from John Cena. Like he's doing stuff this season too. Cena is doing stuff in this show that I would never expect from him.
Wow.
And like I think Dave Bautista is still probably number one like wrestler to actor.
Yeah.
I think Cena's too. Then your Rocks, and then your Hogan's.
Right.
I did, but I'm like Cena. I see some of these movies he's recently been doing. I was like, it's like and I haven't seen
some of them are lazy paycheck movies.
Yeah, so I could see that. You got to get your money as best you can,
right.
Especially if there's not a lot of acting gigs. But right. I'm waiting for that next big Batista, character role, because he's blown me away in some of the ones he's been.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So it should be.
I mean, it's not doing great in the box office.
Smash Machine, yeah.
Yeah, we saw a $6 million opening. It's at $7.5 million right now. The budget's at $50 million. The production company saying they're blaming it on the fact that it hasn't the marketing has been great, and that it's probably not released. It's not going out to the audience that they want. I mean, every movie theater I've been to in the AMC, it's got those Smash Machine punching bag machines in there. I don't know.
I thought that was for a different movie.
See, there you go. See,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
was
it says, and they're also blaming that it's a digital-centric advertising campaign that failed to reach older adult audiences. I mean, I don't know.
I think
who knows how this is going to do?
I don't think it's going to do this as a wide release movie. Like right. I think they should be doing the film festival circuits
that's what I was
and
thinking,
stuff like that. For a while, and maybe do it as like maybe a Christmas release.
Mm-hmm.
Or like an A24 route, because usually people who are a fan of A24.
Well, this is an A24.
Oh, it is an A24.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's A24 and whatever.
$7 Productions, which is the Rock's production company.
So I'm surprised the A24 group maybe didn't show. Maybe they did, and there's just not a lot of them. I don't know, but also the economy now is not great, so not a lot of people are going to the theater.
That could be it too.
And if it's not like a big name or action packed or something pulling them in, you're not gonna. Also, if you're not a fan of The Rock, that's another thing.
That could be it too, yeah.
But it's
I mean, I want to see it. I'm part of the problem, I guess, because I want to see it. I just haven't had the opportunity to go see it, but I do want to see it. It's not like I'm staying away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but best of luck to them, because at least The Rock is taking a chance and not doing the whole, not playing himself in the movie.
I hope it fruits into something even better. So Chicken Man,
exactly,
be amazing. After this,
we'll see. You want to take us out, Chad?
All right. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Enter the Nerdom. And if you aren't already, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And
this will be on YouTube as well.
And YouTube as well, yes, yeah. And please leave a comment or
don't forget to rate and review those ratings and all the little thumbs ups you can give us. They actually do help. So please, a little rating and review helps us along the way.
Yes,
definitely.
And as we always say here, enter the Nerdom, exit the smashing.
There it is. Yeah,
that's a smashing.
That's what we always say.